Today I bring you the new part of the story of the dragon Luca. Our hero is a young man who dies and is transported to another world, but not as a knight or a mage. Instead, he is reborn as a dragon egg, and from the very first moment, everything turns upside down. He finds himself in a world full of monsters, magic, and ruthless laws of the jungle. Instead of starting with overwhelming power, he begins as the weakest creature that could be eaten in seconds, surrounded by predators everywhere. Every step he takes must be calculated. He begins a journey of evolution and intense battles, and with every monster he defeats, he gets closer to becoming a terrifying dragon, and any wrong decision could end the entire story. Without taking much of your time, if you have not watched the previous parts, I will leave the video link in the description. And if this is your first time with us, drop a like and subscribe to the channel so we can reach 1,000 subscribers. Prepare your favorite drink and let us continue the story. Illu runs towards the village as fast as he can while carrying the injured mare on his back. She realizes that he is taking her towards the village and thanks him. Illu is glad that she is still in her senses, which means that her injuries are not that bad. He wants her to use healing magic on herself so that she can be completely fine, and Mur uses her healing magic. Not on herself, but on him. Illu is dumbfounded that Mur is healing him, but she tells him that he has more serious injuries than her, so he needs treatment first. Illu thinks that she is too kind for her own good, but Mur tells him to hurry towards the village. Meanwhile, in the village, Breg is facing off against a Mahawolf on his own. He wonders how can a monster reach the village when the warding stones are still active. Suddenly, the wolf pounces on him, and Breg lets his spear take support from the ground to pierce through its heart. He gets buried under the weight of the monster in the process, and just as he is trying to get out, he notices the menacing figure of Illu standing on top of him. Breg is terrified for the villagers now, and he struggles to free himself as quickly as possible so that he can fight against the evil dragon. Illu knew this was going to happen, but luckily this time Mur is conscious to become his advocate. She tells Breg that Illu is her friend, and he has come here to save the village. Breg is shocked to see Mur with a monster after he searched for her the whole day. But then he begins to think that something about Illu looks familiar. Even Illu recognizes him as the dude who stabbed him the last time, and Breg asks Mur if it is the same dragon from the last time. Mur affirms, saying that Illu has evolved into a young plague dragon, but he is the same dragon that saved her earlier. As Illu removes the body of the Mahawolf to free Breg, Mur again tells him that Illu is very kind and he really wants to help them. Breg still can't believe that despite the proof being right in front of his eyes, but he decides to put his faith in the friendly plague dragon. First, he apologizes for hurting Illu the last time, even though he was just trying to help Mur. And Illu melts instantly on seeing how reasonable Breg is. He replies that it is all right, and Mur tells Breg that Illu can understand human language, even though he can't speak it. That is an even bigger shock to Breg, but he forgets all about it as a deafening roar rocks the area. Breg says that the rock dragon seems to be getting close to them, and Mur asks if he saw Dawes by any chance. Breg replies that Dawes was leading a pack of wolves, and he set one loose after him while he headed towards the village. Mur reveals that Dawes is luring the rock dragon towards the village using its egg as a hostage, and they need to stop him immediately. She tells Illu that they need to hurry, and Breg volunteers to help them because the villagers will trust him more than Mur. Illu signals him to hop on his back and runs towards the village, where Dawes has already reached. The village drunk is among the people who see him, and he wants everyone to suck it up because he turned out to be right about Dawes being alive. However, Dawes looks far from normal at the moment, and he laughs menacingly as he takes the rock dragon egg with him. Soon, Illu and others reach the village, and though the villagers are shocked to see a dragon, Breg asks them if they saw Dawes, and learns that he is heading towards the watchtower. Just then, the head of the rock dragon becomes visible from the village, and everyone freaks out. Mur once again says that they need to stop Dawes, but Breg asks her to leave that up to him and Illu, while she helps the villagers evacuate. Illu agrees with him because he doesn't want to put Mur in any more danger, and she decides to follow their plan. Illu and Breg ride towards the sunset to stop Dawes, and Breg remarks that it is hard to believe that the dragon hatchling became a plague dragon so quickly. He tells Illu that once this matter is resolved, he will introduce him to all the villagers so that they can be friends, and there is nothing Illu wants more than that. He starts prancing in joy, thinking that this is the beginning of his heroic tale, and he has to thank Breg for that. At the same time, Daz has reached the watchtower and murdered the guard as well as some hens, because there is no punishment for that since this is not Skyrim. The other people are aghast and confused by what is happening when Bread and Illu arrive there. Everyone is terrified on seeing the dragon, but Bread tells them that Illu is on their side. He orders everyone to evacuate the village because a rock dragon has attacked them. The villagers run away as fast as they can, but one boy stays behind to watch the fight. Daz charges at Bread and manages to push him down from Illu's back. But when he tries to attack Illu, he is easily overpowered. Illu disarms him and then hits him away. But as he is about to finish Daz off, he hesitates because that would make him a real monster in the eyes of the villagers. The brainwashed Daz still laughs menacingly and Illu decides to knock him out with a hit that rattles his brain. Illu then starts hyping himself, saying that he is the dragon of justice who doesn't kill unless it is absolutely necessary. He then tries confiscating the egg so that he can take it away from the village, but shockingly, Daz returns to his senses just then and leaps away from him. Illu is sure that no normal human could do this, so he checks Daz's stats and finds that he has the same abnormal effect as the Mahawolds. Meanwhile, Daz notices the boy hiding nearby, and he immediately takes him hostage so that Illu can't attack him. He starts walking backwards towards the rock dragon egg and Illu can't come up with any solution to the problem in front of him. Suddenly, Daz reaches the dragon egg and drops his sword much to Illu's surprise. Then he does something even more bizarre and spits out a stream of slimy gel that grabs the top of the watchtower and pulls him upwards. Illu wonders what could be the reason behind this and the abnormal status when an even bigger problem appears. The rock dragon has reached the village and it angrily charges towards its egg. Daz lifts up the egg to taunt it further and Illu leaps towards the egg to take it into his custody. However, Daz yeets the hostage boy away and Illu is forced to save him first. But Daz uses that chance to jump towards the ground, ready to smash the egg on the ground. Illu freezes in horror as he realizes that no one can stop Daz now, and he smashes the rock dragon's egg right in front of its eyes. The rock dragon goes berserk on seeing this and begins stomping violently, sending a wave of destruction through the village. Marie hears the sounds of its rampage while returning to the village and finds Mur as soon as she enters the village boundary. She asks her what is going on and Mur tells her that Daz lured the rock dragon into the village and Dragon Illu are trying to stop it. Meanwhile, Illu lifts his head up after the rampage of the rock dragon is over and confirms that the boy was safe under his protection. He looks at the destruction around and then at Daz, who is busy humping the air while the rock dragon stares at him angrily. The rock dragon then turns Daz into a paste under its heavy feet and Illu realizes that he could have prevented the destruction of the village if he had been the one to kill Daz earlier. Just then, Bread calls out to him and Illu is glad that he is safe too. He asks Bread to take the boy and run because he needs the area to be clear so that he can fight the rock dragon. Bread thinks that it is a risky move, but he believes in Illu and asks him not to die. With that, Illu is left alone to face off against an enemy much stronger than him, and he is not sure if he can beat it. However, he is not ready to give up because the fate of the people he cares about hangs on this fight. He decides to go all in and immediately charges at the rock dragon with a dragon punch, which turns out to be completely ineffective against its rock-solid defenses. He follows up with his fire breath, but that doesn't do anything either. Next, Illu uses a meteorite attack to smash the rock dragon's tough hide, but is also useless. He realizes that he doesn't have any attack that can overcome the high defense stacks of the rock dragon. But as he is busy thinking that, the rock dragon pitch slaps him to the ground. Illu takes a ton of damage from the single hit and finds that he can't move his body properly now. He has understood by now that he doesn't have a single move in his arsenal that can work against his enemy, and at this rate, both he and the village are doomed. However, just then, Bread comes in clutch with a few more men from the village who attack the dragon with arrows to distract it. Bread gets close enough to attack the dragon with his spear, causing it to shift its attention away from Illu, who gets up and lands a powerful dropkick on its neck. The rock dragon loses its balance for a moment, and using that chance, the villagers pierce its eye with an arrow. Bread tells his friends that he will help Illu in distracting the rock dragon, and when they find the chance, they should aim for its other eye to completely blind it. At the same time, Illu checks the rock dragon's stats to see how much damage it has taken and finds that after all the attacks, it has most of its HP intact. Suddenly, he notices that the dragon is about to use a powerful attack. He can't warn the humans in time, and the rock dragon sends powerful earthen spikes towards them, taking out one of them quickly. Bread tries to help the other guy, but ends up being trapped between two rocky pillars, unable to move. Illu wonders what can he do in this situation when suddenly, he he hears a distorted voice telling him to run. He wonders what the hell is happening, and Siri tells him that she has reached level 4, and now Illu can access the simplified simulator rendered by Laplace. Those are a lot of words that Illu doesn't understand, and then the strange voice from earlier talks to him again, saying that she knows he won't run away no matter how much he is warned. The voice tells Illu that she never got bored watching him, but now they are going to part ways. Illu doesn't even realize that he is in the palms of a divine entity, and decides to prove the voice wrong by taking down the rock dragon. He decides to evolve into a more powerful dragon, because that is the only way he can win. But there is the risk that his appearance will change, and neither Mir nor Lace will recognize him. Just then, the rock dragon attacks him and Illu rolls away, wondering which of the 4 evolutions should he choose. He thinks that Jormungand has the best chances of winning, but he doesn't want to turn into something so dangerous. The rolling dragon doesn't seem strong from the description, and the dark Drago human is the same. He doesn't know if the little art dragon has any offensive abilities, and he asks Siri to tell him which of them has the best chance against the rock dragon. Suddenly, he feels his body go weak as if someone sucked all his mana, and Siri tells him that he has earned the title Laplace Authority Interference. Illu doesn't care what that random bullshit means, but what is important is that Siri can now tell him the odds of survival for each evolution. She tells Illu that if he becomes a little arc dragon, there is a 4% chance that he will win. But if he becomes the Jormungand, there is a 98% chance that the fight will end in a draw and the village will be completely destroyed. Illu asks what is even the point if he can't save the village, but Siri doesn't answer such questions. She tells him that if he becomes a rolling dragon, he has less than 1% chance of victory, but his chances of escaping are above 99%. Illu doesn't want to run away and abandon everyone, but then he stumbles and falls on the ground, wondering what should he do now. Meanwhile, in the forest, the furry girl Yona hears the sound of the rock dragon's rampage and immediately tells her party about it. Her party immediately gets alert in the middle of their break, and Milsha tells them that they need to hurry. On the other hand, the villagers are seeking shelter nearby with Mir and Marie in charge. Mir asks if all the villagers have evacuated, and Marie replies that a lot of them have not yet shown up in the shelter. Just then, a woman arrives there with her unconscious son, and while Marie treats the boy, the woman tells her that she saw Greg and a couple other men head towards the village center, claiming that they were going to stop the dragon. Mir says that she also wants to go to the village center to help them, and Marie replies that she cannot do it because the villagers need her help there. Mir replies that she has already treated all the people here and Greg and others need her help more right now. Marie realizes that she cannot dissuade her from her decision, so she decides to do whatever any bro would do and joins her in her stupidity. Back in the village, Illu is still thinking about his decision, fully aware that the more time he takes, the worse his situation gets. He thinks that if he evolves into the little arc dragon, he can save Greg, but in doing that, his odds of winning against the rock dragon are just 4%, and even the chance of saving his friends is just 1%. However, Illu shows the middle finger to the AI chatbot, because no machine can tell him what to do. He suddenly leaps up in the air and dodges the rock dragon's attack before rolling towards it and hitting it with his full strength. The rock dragon is knocked off its feet by that attack, and Illu immediately goes to check on Greg. Illu finds that Greg is bleeding out seriously, and the only way he can save him is by turning into a little arc dragon. However, Greg suddenly holds his hand and tells him not to worry about him. Illu wonders what the hell is he babbling about, and then Greg starts saying that there is no reason for a plague dragon like him to attack humans. Illu tells him to shut up because he should conserve his energy in times like this, but then Greg says that he knows that Illu is not using his full strength right now. He asks Illu to do him a favor and eat him because he knows that monsters become stronger by eating humans. Illu immediately rejects that offer because even an evil dragon is better than Epstein and his friends. He tries to explain that he doesn't eat people and doesn't level up by eating others, but of course Greg can't understand him. Illu says that he can only power up through evolving when suddenly he gets a thought that opens up a new direction for him. He thinks a lot about how he evolved into a young plague dragon, but still did heroic acts to gain the title of itty bitty hero, but kept the doors to good evolutions open for him. However, even though he is a young plague dragon, there is no option to become an adult plague dragon in his evolution tree, which means that he is not evil enough to turn into an adult plague dragon. Meanwhile, Greg still continues his rant and says that Illu helped Mir, but he still stabbed him. Despite that, Illu is helping humans by fighting a rock dragon, and that means he is not a monster at heart. Greg lifts Ilu's talons and puts it on his neck, shocking the surviving villager. Greg then starts acting like a martyr already and tells Ilu to devour him and protect the village. Ilu gets teary-eyed on hearing that and realizes that this is what he must do to save everyone. He slashes Greg's neck and sends it flying, standing silently in his place after that. Siri tells him that he has already reached his level cap and can't gain any more XP, but his wrongdoer title has reached level 5. And other negative titles have also gone up by 1 level. Ilu realizes that there is no way for him to turn back now, and Siri asks him if he wants to see his evolution tree now after becoming even more evil. He immediately asks for it, and Siri tells him that now he can evolve into a B- ranked plague dragon, an evil dragon that brings disaster wherever it goes. Siri keeps hyping up the evolution into Plague Dragon, saying it is one of the 3 great calamity monsters and leaves a mountain of corpses behind its trail. Ilu doesn't even wait to hear what are the chances of victory against the Rock Dragon and chooses to evolve into a Plague Dragon. His body starts growing and transforming into an adult Plague Dragon. Just then, the Rock Dragon gets up and starts roaring, and Ilu responds with an even louder and more menacing roar. The Rock Dragon attacks the pillar on which Ilu is sitting, but he flies away. The villager who witnessed Ilu evolve into a fearsome monster after killing Greg runs away in fear. Meanwhile, Ilu lands on the ground and tells Greg that he will definitively save the village with the power that his sacrifice gave him. Suddenly, the Rock Dragon and Ilu start a roaring contest again and charge at each other with full strength. This time, Ilu has similar stats as the Rock Dragon, so he has no problem in headbutting the Rock Dragon with full strength. He then grabs the Rock Dragon's head, but he still doesn't have enough physical strength to overpower it. The Rock Dragon pushes him back, and Ilu realizes that he can't win in a match of sumo wrestling against his enemy. However, that is not his strong suit anyway. He grabs the Rock Dragon's head with his other hand too, and then starts flying up. He tries to slash the Rock Dragon with his poisonous claws, but his claws can't pierce its thick skin. He immediately flies away, luring the Rock Dragon behind him into an open space because he will have advantage there. At the same time, Mor and Marie reach the village center to look for Greg and Ilu, but they are shocked when they see neither of the dragons there. Just then, the survivor arrives there and Marie asks him where is Greg. The guy grabs his head and falls to his knees as he remembers the horrific incident. He leads Mur and Marie to Greg's headless body, telling them that the plague dragon killed him. Marie asks him if he is sure that the dragon that Mur brought here killed Greg, and he affirms. Mur can't believe that, but the guy tells them that he saw Ilu killing Greg with his own eyes and then growing bigger suddenly. He says that he led the Rock Dragon towards the east and curses both the monsters. Mur still can't believe that Ilu would kill a human, but Marie tells him that it is not the time for that. They have more important things to do right now, which is treating the injured people that were still stuck in the village. While Mur hurries to treat the injured villagers, Marie just hopes that the Rock Dragon and the Plague Dragon don't return to the village, because then, the village would surely be destroyed. Meanwhile, an intense fight is going on between Ilu and the Rock Dragon in the open space. The Rock Dragon bites his tail and uses the skill to launch earth spikes at him. Ilu slaps it and frees himself in time to evade the attack. He gets away from the Rock Dragon and uses his new skill Whirlwind Slash to release powerful slashes from his wings that deal damage to the Rock Dragon. Just then, the Rock Dragon charges at him and Ilu flies away just in time to avoid it. He knows that he would be cooked if the attack landed on him and then checks the Rock Dragon's stats. He finds that all his attacks haven't done much damage and the Rock Dragon is still rocking a lot of HP. He wonders if the Rock Dragon has any weak spots that he can use, but Siri tells him that he can't access that information yet. Ilu decides that he should focus on the Rock Dragon's head to do the most amount of damage. He charges ahead and hits the Rock Dragon's head with a dragon punch and then smacks it with his tail. Ilu then pokes the other eye of the Rock Dragon as well, leaving it completely blind. The frantic Rock Dragon starts acting crazy and charges straight towards the village. Ilu flies in front of it to block it from reaching the village where Marie and others are treating the villagers. Just then, Marie notices that Mur is gone. She fears that she has gone to meet Ilu and hopes that she survives being in his presence. On the other hand, Ilu is trying his best to stop the Rock Dragon, who keeps headbutting him to get free. Ilu starts flapping his wings strongly, releasing a poisonous powder that starts hurting the Rock Dragon. The Rock Dragon gets dizzy as a result of the poison, and as Ilu sees that, he notices that the Rock Dragon's neck is slimmer than the rest of its body. He starts punching the neck with all his strength that activates his another skill called Neckbreaker, that shows him exactly where he needs to attack to finish it off. He punches that point with his full strength, and the rock dragon falls dead on the ground. Siri tells him that he has defeated the rock dragon and earned 380 experience points. Illu is too exhausted from the fight as well, and he falls to the ground as Siri tells him that he has reached level 19 in just one fight. Just then, Mur arrives there and asks Illu if he is the same friendly dragon that she knows. She asks how did he get so big, and if he defeated the rock dragon to save the village. Illu now realizes that he has killed Breg to evolve, and wonders what to tell Mur now. Suddenly, an energy bolt hits him and Marie tells Mur to get away from the dangerous dragon while she keeps blasting attacks at it. Mur stands in between them telling Marie that this is the friendly dragon she told her about. Marie replies that this is the dragon that killed Breg, and Mur suddenly realizes that she forgot to confirm that. She turns to Illu to ask that, but the look on his face says it all. She still defends Illu, telling Marie that there must be some misunderstanding because Illu won't kill a human. Suddenly, the poisonous scales get inside her nose and she starts coughing. Illu realizes that he has become a monster who can no longer stay with Murren, and he suddenly pushes away to keep her safe. He roars loudly, prompting Marie to fire another bolt at him. Illu uses that chance to fly away to the lakeside where he checks out his new form in water. He thinks that he is built like a tank now, but then he falls on his back because he is too exhausted. Suddenly, he notices a flower in front of him, and Siri tells him that it is the Illusia flower after which he has been named. Siri tells him that these flowers only grow where monsters are found, so they are hard to collect. In flower language, they symbolize bravery and heroism, and that reminds Illu why Mur named him such. He feels that he no longer deserves this name and asks Siri to erase it. She tells him that his name cannot be changed once it has been set, and Illu starts writhing on the ground over how terrible he has become. But that's where this video ends. This was the full recap of every episode released so far. As soon as new episodes drop, I'll be covering them right away, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Head over to the channel and check out our other recaps. There's plenty of epic stuff waiting for you. Go binge watch and enjoy. See you in the next one.